Hello and welcome to Budget Model Railways, and today I'm doing a little update on my Engage compact exhibition layout. So in the last video, which has been very popular, thank you very much for watching, I showed you the track plan and so on. What I've now added, biggest change obviously, is the back scene. So this is simply hardboard, some offcuts of hardboard and some foam board. I found a photo back scene in my box of bits, so I didn't have to buy another one, and that works quite well. Runs along there. It is a little bit short, so I've tacked on another piece I had, but once it's all blended in with scenery, I don't think it'll show too badly. I've started working on the hills using black packaging that comes out of 3D printers and so on. It's like a plastic foam. It cuts with scissors and knife and makes far less mess than polystyrene. And I'll cover that in probably tissue paper, PVA glue, and then scatter, put some trees on. We have the road coming down now, and you can see the beginnings of some buildings. So these are the excellent Metcalfe N-gauge buildings. Strangely enough, in double O, where they tend to be too big, in N-gauge, where relatively you've got more space, they blend in really well. And I quite like these as the sort of freelance idea, but there's a similar style of building. And I've got a couple more. I'm going to put a retaining wall in here. So this will be a little village running down to the station. We've got the industrial site, which is really what the whole layout was built around, that building. Workers' cottage. The road will come in here into the goods yard. And then through the front there will be another hill, probably with some low rock faces, some more grass and trees to blend it all in. I've done quite a bit of running on this as well. This works perfectly fine as an Inglenook shunting puzzle because it's got 3 lines. This is the running line. And actually I was out here shunting for half an hour last night. So it will work very well as a shunting layout, not just watching the trains go around. And then the last few days have been taken doing the river. These are simply mounting boards, Metcalfe brick sheets and paper to make the pillars. This is a Javis product. So it comes like this. It's a river bank on a roll of card. You glue it down. I've put some joins in it, but disguise those with bits of loose scatter. I've then touched the water up using just cheap, I think it was Wilko, so you won't be able to get that, but a cheap yacht varnish, polyurethane varnish, which just gives you a more glossy water effect than the original. And then I put some loose scatter ballast just to blend the walls in and go with the general rock, and some little self-adhesive grass tufts. I am quite pleased with that, if I'm honest. That's a really good look. It's going to be a really good feature on the layout, especially once it's blended in. So scenically, it's going to be a lot of fun. It is going to take quite a while. It's taken me 2 or 3, probably 4 evenings just to do the river. But this is good practice for me. I need things that take a little longer. But being smaller, it still won't take a great deal of time to complete. Now, running around this today, I've got the excellent Cato locomotive and rolling stock. I picked that up cheap a couple of years ago for about £40. I'm still picking up some of the Cato and N-gauge European and continental locomotives very cheaply. The wagons actually were bought new, but they're cheaper than new Pico wagons. So that's they were on offer with train tracks. If you're into your N-gauge, especially specifically Cato, do take a look at the Train Tracks website. So this really is very much a budget layout. The base came from some old storage units we were given. When Doug finished with them, I cut them up to make a desk. That's where this has come from. This is packaging. The foam board was bought cheaply, offcuts to make the back scene, and the relatively cheap Metcalfe buildings. And even 1 or 2 of those I've actually got second-hand, a little bit cheaper, and very much cheap second-hand track. Some of these points are 3rd or 4th hand now. They've been on so many layouts. And the flexi track came from our local tip shop, our local recycling site. My wife spotted them and bought them for me, and I've got a huge box, about 10 lengths of N-gauge flexi track for a fiver. So very good price. So this is turning out to be really interesting layout. It's going to do most of what I like, be very scenic. It's got the fiddle yard over the back with three lanes in it, and the ability to watch locos go around and do shunting. So I'm very pleased with it. Judging by the number of views of the last video, it's caught people's imagination as well. If you do like what we do, please don't forget to share it, spread the word, and let people see what we're doing. At the end of the day, this is a much smaller layout, even by N-gauge scale. This is a 12-inch radius curve, so the whole layout is only about 15 inches wide. And it just goes to show, and even in N, you can reduce. And that's quite a big Bobo diesel going round that. So it's not as if you're limited to very small locos. That's coping with it quite happily. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to have another update out soon.